Yeah, apparently, like, oil production this year, this is what Steely was getting at. Oil production this year in the U.S. hit like an all-time high. Yeah. Under a Biden administration. Remember all the shit he was talking about the oil industry? Yeah, it turns out they pumped more this year. Yeah. Turns out they make decisions based on economics. I mentioned before, I don't think Air's drop had anything to do with Tesla. God damn. Air keeps doing this. Air just keeps... You start the day in one direction and move in the other. I guess not all days. Sometimes it's even just gone up and then down. Down, then up. Down, then up. Then down. Down, then up. Yeah. But yeah, Air, I don't think respond. I just think Air is a case where people are just taking profits. By the way, if you want Jay's scenario in which inflation goes up, and I mean true reacceleration, true reacceleration of inflation, not base effects, but true month over month movement upwards of inflation. Here it is. It's all geopolitical black swans. So basically the entire closure of the Black Sea, another fucking tanker gets run aground in the Suez Canal. Anything that happens in the Caucasus, anything that happens in the, what's it called? Between like Azerbaijan and Iran. All right. Anything that happens in like Kosovo, Serbia, etc. That's where I think you're going to see some problems. Like, that's where it kind of comes. Scheme Yellow, bullish for tomorrow. Yes. Yes. Tomorrow's CPI, it's hard not to sit there and go, all right, the market's taking a step back. Has anybody not seen like what's the Fed funds rate market? What's it suggesting? We still have another hike priced in. If we get a 0.2% or 0.1% especially CPI month over month, you're going to start hearing people arguing probably too early to take it out. Remember, we had 2 CPI prints before the Fed meets, and they're going to look at both of those prints. Steely hand. So I think the Caucasus could cause inflation. Yes. Specifically on energy supplies because of pipelines that are currently being looked at and currently being constructed right now through that area. The real issue to me would be, honestly, Azerbaijan, Armenia. Like the involvement of Turkey, Iran, and Israel, that I think would be a pretty important thing. What about the unstable China issue causing oil increase? What's the oil increase we're thinking there? Like, people are more concerned of downward surprises of China, right? What people don't realize is China has a shitload of oil right now in their in storage. I think the eventual opening of those pipelines is already priced in. To be fair, we had a 20% increase in natural gas contract for Europe today over what? Weather sentiment? I think every market right now, particularly commodity markets, every market's just on edge, period. Headline risk will fuck shit up. So any perception of a new headline risk will just cause contracts to spike. I don't think it's rational, but I think it would happen in the short term. Banks still call for September and November hikes. The Fed funds rate market doesn't believe it. It makes sense. Hoarding of oil by the Chinese. Yep. Particularly, keep in mind, unlike the US right now, China has a lot of refining capacity. For the US, part of the issue we have is not just oil production. Remember, production is pulling oil out of the ground. Refining is turning oil into shit we actually use. China's been building a lot of refineries in the last 5 to 10 years. The US, not so much. Soaring Kiwi, both. They have crude oil and refined oil stored. Why did Rivian shit the bed? Because it's a shit go. Right? Is Rivian down? Damn. I mean, yeah, it's a money burning entity right now. Bullish or bearish on Baba? I have no viewpoint on Baba. I'm avoiding China right now. If you could go back in time by one day, how much money do you think you could pull from the market in one trading session, starting with $100? I don't know, but the answer is probably going to be a lot. Tim, yeah, we know. You said your money's on a higher CD rate soon. Good luck. Global flex capacity is in China and the Middle East, but crude grades and associated flows to correctly tooled refineries are still of high importance here. Yes, it is. Now, I assume he just meant. I assume he just meant like yesterday to today, because then you could have done the whole game of like SMCI puts overnight. And you could have woken up this morning, cashed those out, and picked numerous other things. Roblox at first view, no. No. I did not think they were nearly that bad. You got spicy earnings tonight. Oh, yeah, if I could pick the day that Facebook dumped 40%, holy shit. Because you'd start that day short and you'd end that day long. Or you could pick the day that NVIDIA had their earnings. When they dropped their large cock on the table and said, 11 billion next quarter, and immediately... Any thoughts on Ionic? No, shitco. Shitco. Bit of a meme stock, but it's a shitco. For now. It's trying to do good, interesting work in quantum computing. We have a long time before that matters. Put it this way. If you own a position in Ionic today, before that company generates significant revenue, before they ever make profit, they will dilute you multiple times. They have to. They have to. The day that Mr. Clean falls. Is Verizon becoming a shit? Verizon and AT&T in particular are weird. They have huge debt, big dividends, large legacy like infrastructure businesses. They're not sexy. I'm not touching them at all. But like, it's hard to replace that infrastructure. Telco has a tendency to be priced at shitco levels. To be fair, Telco has a history of doing shitco things. I mean, AT&T, like, if you look up shitty corporate transactions in the dictionary, AT&T's picture is going to be shown multiple times. Being your mom, wow, that accelerated. Is Datadog in danger of ending the day green? Wow, look at them go. They got way too beaten up. way too beaten up on earnings. Am I still holding Datadog? Am I? Yes. I have September 15th for Datadog. I'm holding them. Does Roblox have any other revenue stream that isn't their flagship title? I don't know. It's a good question. Oh boy, this is interesting. Quite a quote from Bespoke Invest. The 101 S&P 500 stocks that pay no dividends are up an average of 20.7%, while the 10 highest yielding stocks in the index are down 3.2%. Cue Prometheum screaming. 448, I believe, was the pivot point. I think that's where the high, like, risk-free rate, like the high interest rates on like bonds and treasuries, I think that's what comes into play. That puts a lot more competitive pressure, specifically on like dividend stocks, as opposed to stocks that are like, fuck it, if you want free yield, you can buy bonds, but we just gonna grow, bitches. This is interesting. Bernstein's desk on Amazon. I saw this earlier. This is a real. Let me forward you this tweet, guys, because you're going to want to read this one on your own. This one's important. You want to get nuts? Let's assume core retail business generates just 2% operating income margin in 2025. That means Amazon's operating income in 2025 could be upwards of $79 billion. The sheer scale of earnings before interest, taxes, revisions that we might see dwarfs anything else in large cap tech. The long-term bullish case, or at least medium-term bullish case on Amazon, it's really simple. They stop over-investing in their retail business, and you get a lot of money. It's super cool. Chem Life, I like that. All about total shareholder yield, divvy plus buyback plus debt pay down. This is how you're coping with that info. But that's the thing, like Chem Life, and this is a conversation, Promo, myself, we've had quite a few times where like, even amidst like a lot of commodity stocks, there are so many really good companies to me that are set up for like years. They happen to pay dividends. Fuck it, take it away from commodity stocks. One of my favorite companies is CVS. Not been performing well recently, we know that much. But long term, I'm getting paid a dividend to wait, and I actually see an excuse for them to grow. Like, I like it. Albemarle, that's the commodity associated stock I'm really interested in. Was it Promo or Steely that called out specifically Lyndell Basell, who had a relatively shit earnings, did not die. Did not die. Amazon bear case. The FTC or DOJ will bring the mega suit against Amazon this month. Yeah, Amazon's supposed to meet with them. The worst part is I've heard so many people specifically argue. They're like, I hope the FTC wins. Break Amazon up. It's worth more in pieces. You're still waiting for the promised 3K gold. I know, right? Albemarle is pretty interesting if you don't want development risk. Like, fuck the dividends. Fuck the buybacks. You can make a secular argument for the next 10 years. Lithium processing, super important, right? Super important. Copper. Copper. We need more copper. We need more copper, right? Like, you guys have heard me shit on thermal coal a lot. Metallurgical coal, however, kind of interesting. Yeah, lithium supply growth scares you from owning lithium stocks. I guess my question is, who's doing the processing? So is it all about pulling lithium out of the ground, or is it the processing? My understanding is Albemarle is by far one of the best at the processing side, not sort of the mining side, right? Someone say, money, we need more neon gas. I will fucking cut you. Yeah, thermal coal is fucking right now. I get it. But long term, thermal coal to me is one of the more riskier of the commodities. It really is. Every dollar, if I'm investing in energy that's not oil, then every dollar I'm putting in thermal coal would be one less dollar towards natural gas. And I think natural gas has a much better growth. Metafast is 7%. CPI 5, yeah, 8:30 a.m. in the real market, right? On East Coast. Thermal is a slam dunk. Thermal as a monolithic entity or actually picking companies, right? That's my concern, is like trying to pick winners and losers out of that. Oh, good Lord. What commodity did Norway find off its coasts? Bussy. So it's funny. I've been calling out the shittiness that I thought a lot of the labor data was wrong. ZipRecruiter reported last night and pulled guidance and had all sorts of negative commentary. Now, separately, what I'm going to sit there and say is, I actually believe there is this is less about macro trends, even though I agree with some of them. This is more that ZipRecruiter is getting disrupted as we speak. This is a long time been seen. Same as our fab. Want to hear some DGen shit? Always. You're in Playboy for earnings. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know what to think about that. Why would Playboy do well? Why would Playboy? It's $1.67. Oh my God. This thing hit shitco levels real fucking quick. You gotta ask, what's the Wendy's dumpster? It's a dumpster that has the Wendy's logo on it. Jay Skellen, oh boy, have they come down from the days. We haven't really talked about it, but Skelling, you might appreciate this. Remember Goed? Remember Goed? Ooh. This was the stock that created a splinter group from V-Bears. All right? And this thing hit every possible sign of being a shitco. Like, they've had earnings restatements, they've had proxy fights among shareholders. Oh, this one's brutal. This one's brutal. Anyway. Yeah, Jay makes extra cash behind it. Yeah. Sick chief. Remember, guys, sick chiefs around. You must hydrate. Drink. Jay Skellen, you don't think you're around for that one? Oh, it's terrible. There are a lot of interesting arguments made in favor of them, but like, if you know what they actually do, it's essentially a high-end appliance retailer, but that's very small. So it's like, oh, cool. So they exist because Amazon, Lowe's, and Home Depot don't want to kick their ass. I think what actually specifically happened was Lowe's came for them. Yeah, the weird thing is that Playboy needs to monetize a lot of their assets. Assets, get it? Why Playboy would do there's can I click on that on stream? What were the weight loss companies? There was that one is it Medwell? Medifast. They got dunked on yesterday. They're up good today. Now tomorrow they deal with Nova Nort's coming up, so they might drop. Who knows? Um, how's Weight Watchers doing? WW International. They're up big today. They got tanked the last few days. Wow, I didn't realize how bad it was. This one's interesting because they made a lot of money. At least their stock did. When they talked about like setting up a program to basically have on-call nurses that would prescribe like Ozempic. ChemLife, don't tempt BTU. They might just hedge PRB production under their cost of production. That's the other thing to talk about. Why they gotta be a shitco? Promo, you think environmental regulations and cheap natty will drive U.S. thermal to extinction? I agree. That's been my longtime argument against thermal coal. The other argument is if you play it overseas, that's fine. You're going to compete against a ton of Russian, Indian, Indonesian, and Chinese production at any given time. The only reason thermal coal's gotten a big lift recently had a lot more to do with just the geopolitical uncertainty around oil and natural gas. That's all. You're probably long BT. Better the devil you know. That's actually great. Yeah. By the way, metallurgical coal cannot be replaced right now. And long term, that should be the case. I'm probably out of my depth. That's fair. Some vetards on vetards. Yep. You thought they were extinct? Yeah. They never die. There's a certain time frame where once you've held bags long enough, you identify with them. Says me, the TSMC fan. Speaking of shitcos, guys, there are all sorts of people trying to, quote, squeeze the shorts on Rite Aid. Oh, shit. I was hoping they were to keep going up so I could short them. Seriously, this is a shitco. Avoid Rite Aid. Avoid Rite Aid. This is going to end very badly. Very badly. There are all sorts of DD being created. They're going to talk about how Rite Aid has $24 billion worth of revenue in the last 12 months. They will probably hide the fact that they lost almost $1 billion on that. Rite Aid is a pharmacy. CVS and Walgreens are more than pharmacies. That's why they make money and these fuckers lose it. Have I heard of the company Kratos? Yes. I don't know exactly what they do. But yeah. But yeah, this is a shitco. I've seen people talk about squeezing it. I will be honest, I hope they do. The higher up this fucker goes, I will then buy puts because this management will absolutely dump on them. These guys need money. They absolutely need money to survive their future. They are a money-burning enterprise. So if this fucker squeezes, management is going to dilute the fuck out of people easily. Easily. And there's no one coming to save them. That's the most important thing. Notice, Walgreens, CVS are closing locations. They are not in the mood to expand their physical pharmacy. Look at what both Walgreens and CVS are investing in. For CVS, insurance companies. For Walgreens, what, a PBM? Both of them are doing more point-of-care healthcare. CVS is getting more into like at-home healthcare and Medicare Advantage. Like, no one's trying to expand their pharmacy footprint. That's all Rite Aid is, and it's not even good at that. Nathan J's list of shitco's tracker has been updated. Rite Aid, Upstart, Snapchat, AMC, GME, Airlines, Carvana, Cruise Lines, and don't forget Lemonade. Lemonade is another shitco. It's AI insurance. Total shitco. Ugh, and they know it. Look at that. So yeah, apes are going to try to squeeze Rite Aid. Let them, and then buy puts. Hasbro. Let's see Hasbro. Hasbro, oh wow. There were a bunch of announcements, by the way, from Gen Con in Indy about Hasbro's Magic the Gathering roadmap. And they're doing an upcoming, what they called Universes Beyond, I believe. That's the name of it, UB. Universes Beyond. That's where Magic the Gathering collaborates with other franchises. One of the franchises they're collaborating with is Final Fantasy, which is actually kind of interesting. So you'll have like Final Fantasy themed cards. So yeah. Are there any unusual options? Yeah, are we seeing any interesting options at the end of the day? Hey, Osprey, what about Roblox? I don't know. Roblox... I read through the headlines of their earnings. I'm shocked they're down 21%. I'm shocked they're down 21%. Their earnings, I mean, did I miss like a going concern notice? It did not look that bad. It did not look that bad. I don't think this is a 20% plus haircut. Like if you were invested in Roblox, you know they're not making money yet. You know they're not going to announce a dividend or a share buyback. What were you expecting? They showed year-over-year growth in subscribers, right? Wasn't that what should matter here? Yeah, SMCI, their drop is hilarious. I'm like, all right. How dare they basically guide to like 60% increase in like EPS year over year? Like, yeah. Big Dumb Investor, you don't know, you think the Lord of the Rings thing was a flash in the pan. I agree. I think Lord of the Rings was probably the most successful one, but you got to understand part of the success was they did their whole, like for the first time ever, this type of like serialized signature card. They're going to do the same thing going forward. So imagine if they release like a Sephiroth card where it's a one of one. They'll do the same shit that they saw with the one true ring. Party on bar. Personal opinion: Roblox could be in trouble next earnings. They said fewer players and gaming is dropping. Did they say fewer players? Did they? I didn't catch that part. I saw year over year their subscribers numbers were up, which I thought again would be the most important. Either way, I'm not touching the stock. I don't get them. Yeah, Post Malone's gonna have such a cool collection. It's a true statement. More subs, but fewer concurrent games. Okay, got it. That's interesting. Your kids don't even touch their iPads to play Roblox anymore. Interesting. What game do they play? Or what games do they play then? Minecraft. Is that on the comeback? Celsius, you have a 12-year-old and he's playing games off of Steam. Ooh, nice. You blocked Roblox on your network. And to collect his Father of the Year award. Yeah, you still remember Paul Pelosi. Paul Pelosi's had some bad options recently. What can we say? The Milwaukee Blues. Well, they only made the one true ring card for special art. The card itself is part of the set playable, and apparently it's broken. I've heard that same thing, by the way. Black Raven's like, I got a $500 router, and I will fucking use it. I respect it. Give Paul a break. He's had head trauma. Yeah. Believe Buffalo. What's the likelihood at the end of 2023 looks like the start of 2022? Inflation comes back, more layoffs. I have no clue. The problem is, like, where do we expect inflation to really come from? Right? Like, it could happen. I'm just not sure. A lot of the trends, keep in mind, a lot of the reason, for example, the Fed was slow to hike rates was the lagging impact, particularly on housing. Well, now we see housing really coming down on the CPI side. Not like in real life, by the way. Basically, what's being captured on the CPI calculations right now is the deflation that's already, or disinflation that's already happened. So even if you start seeing a reacceleration in housing, you're going to wait 8 months to actually see the hit numbers. Any thoughts on ILMN? No, I don't even know who the fuck they are. Lumina. Who are these assholes? They are diagnostics and research, 60 times forward PE. What? What do they do? Life sciences tool. Oh, they do the Grail system. Yeah, I don't know them nearly well enough. I'm not smart enough. Yeah, Glut points out something that's correct. Inflation increasing at the same time as more mass layoffs is somewhat contradictory. That is correct. Some governance issues. Looks like SPY just dumped. No one wants to hold the day before CPI, huh? Look at it drop. You know who's fucking today is Raytheon. Raytheon's been doing real well today. You love to see it. CPI is announced 8:30 in the morning. You can sell a portion of your Disney puts. Be safe. Sharpest blade. You are really getting sick of AMC apes thinking their 8.8 in net earnings means they can sustain business operations forever. Yeah, I even posted on Wall Street Bets. I'm like negative 62 million in free cash flow, and that's the most important number. Like free cash flow is what matters. Yeah, Disney's earnings are tonight. Reminder, earnings tonight. Disney at 405. All right, you got Trade Desk and Magnite, two ad tech companies. Reminder, Digital Turbine, which you played last night, APPS, did not do well. Sonos is an interesting one. Generally speaking, tonight's a lot of shit goes. Disney's the only one we really care about. Actually, we did not talk about Penn yet. Interesting transaction. Interesting transaction. Penn gets the partnership with ESPN. Disney gets what, 1.5 billion up front and a bunch of warrants, and more importantly, Penn takes all the risk. The big thing was Disney did not want anything to do with Dave Portnoy. So believe it or not, Penn's apparently sold back Barstool Sports to Dave Portnoy. Terms unreleased. People are suggesting Dave Portnoy got the best deal of his life. With Disney tonight, I'm going to make the argument what probably matters less is how they actually perform and more about any announcements in regards to their efforts to sell assets. What company I point out with regards to Digital Turbine? So Trade Desk and Magnite, they're both ad tech companies. Keep in mind, I believe they both play in different sectors of ad tech. Digital Turbine was more around mobile apps. I think Trade Desk is more around web apps. Nvidia's down 420. Blaze it. Let's check SPY. Yeah, Disney's the only one we really give a shit about tonight, though. Am I still holding on to Palo Alto? Let me see. Yes. Where are they at right now? Maybe I shouldn't be. This position's dead. Let's put it that way. I lost a few hundred. I would basically need a big time boost tomorrow morning, which I don't think I'm getting. Yeah, so I'll just close it out. It's a dead position. Actually, I'll hold it for one day, just in case CPI is really good. Market on close in balance is 3.8 billion to the sell side. Uh-oh, we like that. We like that. Reminder, the only validity towards market on close is when it's over $1 billion and to the sell side. People have said the next day it tends to result in uppies. I don't know if that matters on the day in CPI coming out. CPI should drive everything. I assume a lot of the selling we're seeing right now is people getting out of the way. Negative 25% was way too much. Yeah, we keep seeing these, like, to me, if you're going to drop 25%, it's got to be something thesis changing. Something, usually with the words like going concern. Believe it, Buffalo. So shouldn't high inflation lead to unemployment? No. High inflation usually means, if anything, employment's banging, which then the decrease in demand is usually caused by efforts from like central banks to reduce it through the use of rate hikes. Rate hikes slows down the economy, drains the demand for goods and services. That then results in a deflationary impulse, which then results in people losing jobs. Yeah, pre-market and post-market selling, yeah. Yeah, and keep in mind, believe it, Buffalo, it's not like a straight one-to-one relationship. None of this shit's that easy. Otherwise, everyone would do it, right? SPY is being a little bitch. Yep. A slight bit of bitchitis. Whiskey Chai, you've 100% your port. Well played, my friend. Well played. We're about to be at 5 minutes left in the market. Let's see if we start getting the green dillies. 300 to 600 on 0 DTEs. Well played, though. Any plays for CPI? I mean, I'm holding a lot of my positions. I'm long, put it this way, I'd be long going into the CPI. Not outrageously long. And here's why I say not outrageously long. We're getting a year-over-year increase, but month-over-month is probably going to look good. So we're going to see how the market really wants to interpret it. I believe the print that we get tomorrow, even if it's what like economists would love to see in terms of, oh, that's really good. You're going to have political commentators being like, oh, Joe Biden's causing inflation to go up, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, not really. Yeah, SPY is being a bitch right now. Everyone's getting out of the way. Roblox, Wedbush upgraded to outperform. Hey, Mox, why did Raytheon do so well today? There was an announcement they're getting a contract, I believe, for like missiles or satellites. I think satellites. ChemLife, it always makes you chuckle how quickly political commentators think that economic policy can change things. There's so much inertia in the U.S. economy. It's a fucking aircraft. I'll remove the word political commentators. I think there's been financial commentators. You hear the same thing where people are like, oh my God, you know, like the second we get one CPI print that goes from month over month 0.2 to say month over month 0.3, and people are going to be like, we need to hike rates by a full 100 basis points. I remember we had someone in here who said that, by the way, a few months ago. Like, oh my God, we need to go up by like 100 basis points right now. And it's like, if inflation dropped as fast as you seemingly claim you want it to, understand it would not be a good thing. It would not feel good to you. Wedbush is a clown show. I agree. I agree. Reminder, one of the better analysts recently has been Tom Lee, and Tom Lee says a new bull market starts tomorrow. God, I have way too many positions, and too many positions are fucking dead as shit, too. They talk their port, of course. Can you imagine if inflation responded on a weekly time lag? Oh. Do you know how much power all of a sudden politicians would get very interested in the activities of the Fed, put it that way. It would be so bad. You would love rapid deflation? Let's be clear. No, you wouldn't. No one likes it when they lose their job. Like, that is an incredibly naive statement. Trust me. Yeah, because basically you're screaming for 2008, you're screaming for a global financial crisis, you're screaming for COVID shutdowns. There's never been such thing as a rapid deflationary period in which people were happy. People die, people lose jobs, people lose houses. Like, it's bad, trust me. CPI is tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern. I always wish they'd do CPI like over the weekend. Pencils down, just about, just about. It's not down yet. And time. Hold on, not yet. Hold on. I mean, we know the Bears are going to win. And time. Pencils down now. GG, well played. Let me give points. Yeah, Tim, we know that. You're sitting on insane. That's why, but quite frankly, when we talk about talking your book, like you're doing that quite a bit. But no. There's a difference between like playing the investment game and wanting bad shit to happen to other people so you can personally profit. You're sounds like you're starting to do a lot more the second. Let's check Disney. What time does Disney report? The mouse is supposedly at 4:05. That's the only earnings we care about. I don't even know what Disney could say, by the way, in terms of their business operations that would work well. Sharpest play, you're calling Magnite and Trade Dump to Big Dump already? Oh, let's see. Trade Desk. Raise the eights already. Watch it accelerate. And then Magnite is the M&GI or MGNI. I got it. Magnite starting off up. I don't know if that matters yet. Keep eyes on Disney. DZU saw it dumping the close and tried to get a put. Yeah. Win is a beat. Interesting. Disney, it's weird because if their stock significantly, shall we say, moves, it's going to be on crazy shit like spinning off assets or partnerships. It's weirdness. It's weirdness for Disney. At least that's my opinion. Yeah, the Disney chart does look like shit. Disney can announce sports gambling with ESPN. Well, technically, they already had that announcement yesterday. Plug looks like a beat. Playboy's numbers are out, by the way. Someone was in Playboy, and it's down 11%. But that's for the full day. That's not just for after hours. Yeah, they're down 9% on the after hours. Out. ESPN bet coming around Thanksgiving. Yep. Disney partnership with Playboy Princess series. Oh, good Lord. By the way, you guys do know. Okay, at Disney World, they have all the princess castles. All right. Well, guess who's a Disney princess thanks to the acquisition of some of the Fox studios? Oh, they're down. Disney's down at first. Just so you know, the Alien series is a Disney property now. So technically, the Alien Queen is a Disney princess. Disney bouncing up, guys. Without looking at the results, keep in mind, I just warned, like, what my suspicion is, the earnings can be absolute shit. If they have any announcement along with it, like selling off assets or any values, that's probably going to move the stock. Black Raven, what's this? Disney beat. Beats on EPS, slight miss on revenue, very slight. The Ripley hybrid is Disney Princess. Got it. Okay, so yeah, the alien's the queen. Got it. Disney's now green. Oh, hold on, went back down. Bouncing around a lot. I see it, by the way, in real time on my my small screen. Yep, looks like option sellers seem to be in control on Disney. Keep in mind, yep. How much did they beat on EPS? Looked like a pretty good beat. Yeah, I mean, Disney basically beat near 10%, 8 to 10%-ish. Revenue was slightly under. Disney had an internal memo not to produce Alien Queen porn. Google Alien Queen Disney Rule 34 for more. No. Plug update. Missed EPS, beat revenue. By the way, missing EPS and beating revenue, that's exactly what Toast did last night. However, they were free cash flow positive for the first time. And thus, they went nuclear today. Guys, Disney's not dying. It's bouncing around a lot, though. So there's probably a lot. Bob Iger on the phone call tonight, if he says one fucking thing wrong, this stock probably dies. I do think revenue is probably more important right now than EPS. A lot of the companies that are beating, they essentially fired their way to better profitability. That's it. Revenue tells you if they're still, strong in the eyes of the consumer. Now, Disney is working its way down. Anyway, folks, let's wrap up the stream there. See what our good friend Jay Jared's up to. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace out, friends.